Welcome again to the panel, and apologies to our agent guests. I've got lots of questions to ask our panel this morning, but we'd really love to hear questions from you as well. So please do use that chat box to ask any questions that spring to mind in general about the cruise market, or specifically about the brands that you're going to learn about in our session. So if I could start by asking each of you to give us a brief introduction to your cruise line to help our guests understand the variety that was within the whole cruise market, and also your own USPs and your position really within that market. Peter, could we come to you first?
Morning, everybody. Well, Silversea are 27 years old. We're part of the Royal Caribbean Group. We have 10 beautiful ships at the moment. We also announced just a few days ago our newest ship, Silver Nova, which will be our 11th ship, and she will join the fleet in early 2023. We're an ultra luxury cruise line. Our ships are all a lot smaller. Our smaller ships are 140 guests, and our bigger ships are 600 guests. So we're right at the top end of the market. We tend to obviously provide all the ultra luxury you'd expect, but our real differentiator at Silversea is our destinations. We go to places I didn't know were places, over 900 places around the world, and a mix of both what you'd expect from ultra classic cruising in the Caribbean, the Med, Northern Europe, etc. But we also have 4 expedition ships that go to the far-flung corners of the earth, such as Antarctica, Arctic, Galapagos, and lots of other places. So we're small and beautifully formed, Pippa.
Doubt it at all. Thank you, Peter. Emma, could you tell us a little bit more about the Scenic and Emerald brands, please?
Yeah, of course. So the Scenic group is 36 years old. I represent the Scenic Oceans market. So that's our ultra luxury discovery voyage called Scenic Eclipse. So we've just got one ocean voyage ship at the minute, and we have got a second one coming in 2023, which I'll touch on later. But Scenic Eclipse launched in 2019, and similar to what Peter said, we market ourselves as an ultra luxury ocean voyage ship as well. She's 168 meters long, maximum capacity of just 228 guests. And she's also polar built for polar expedition with custom stabilizers and advanced hull, but within ultra luxury as well. A lot of the expedition ships might not necessarily be able to combine both. So yeah, unrivaled discovery is our USP, and the small ship experience, the intimate 6-star service, and the all-inclusive philosophy as well. So we've got 10 dining venues, a spa on board. All of our suites have verandas. We've got 2 helicopters and a submarine on board as well to give that ultimate discovery. They're available for guests' use in the polar regions, but also warm water regions as well. So whether it's the Greek islands, Japan, the Northeast Passage, or the polar regions as well. We have an expert discovery team on board as well to help facilitate those helicopter flights, submarine flights, and the rest of our discovery excursions as well, really to give that unrivaled discovery that we want to offer our guests.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Emma. And finally, Shane, you told us a little bit about your brand and your welcome, but could you go into a bit more detail for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, firstly, I'm hoping I'm going to get make rates from Emma and Peter by being on a panel with them, because I know their products are amazing. So they're on my list, so I need to get on there. But yeah, Virgin Voyages, we are the newest cruise line on the block. We're the new kids on the block, with the longest launch in history, having started our launch pre-pandemic. We finally set sail this year with our beautiful first ship, Scarlet Lady. So Scarlet Lady is currently sailing year-round from Miami. And then we have a very exciting 2022 ahead with another 2 ships joining our fleet. So we have the beautiful Valiant Lady and the equally beautiful Resilient Lady joining our fleet next year. So we are adult only, or adult by design. So our product is being designed to have, a lot of people are saying no sound. Can you guys hear me okay? Pippa, can you hear me? Yeah, lots of people can hear me, so that's okay. So we are adult by design. So our ships have been designed with an audience of 18 plus in mind. We have more inclusive. So we have over $600 of inclusions as standard. So the tips, 20 plus eateries, etc., are all included. I like to say we're the experience for people who perhaps wouldn't necessarily consider a cruise line because it's much more like a boutique hotel at sea than it is a traditional cruise line. So we don't have main dining rooms, we don't have traditional watered down Broadway shows. Instead, we have epic entertainment in a transformable theatre with over 20 different eateries and restaurants included. So yes, that's us. Premium experience, more included, and adult by design.
Fantastic, thank you, Shane. And Robert is certainly around. We're just trying to get his video to work for him. It doesn't seem to be working at the moment, so we will have Robert join us as soon as we possibly can.
I can do P&O. It's my former brand. Shall I give it a go?
You do know it very well. Thank you so much for those introductions to what your brands are all about. I think it's clear just from what you've shared there how diverse the cruise sector is and how different the brands and the different mini sectors within the cruise sector really are, which is fascinating to hear. Can I ask you each to talk a little bit about why you think agents who aren't currently selling cruise really should be trying to switch on to cruise now? Peter, what would you say to that?
I think it's about just adding another choice to the guests that you have. In a normal year, and we will definitely get back to normal years, about 2 million Brits go on cruises every year. It's a sizable market. It tends to have a much higher average value than the traditional package holiday market. So if you're talking about mainstream cruising, it's around about £800 to £1,000 a passenger perhaps. With Silversea, it's sort of 4,500, 5,000 upwards per passenger. So it's very nice high revenue, and we all pay reasonably generous commissions. And therefore, from a business perspective, it really does add to your bottom line. And more and more as we built up through 2019, we were just heading into the most successful year ever for cruise, and we're now all talking about comeback cruise. I've just come back off a ship this very morning. I flew back into the UK this morning, and cruising is definitely coming back. And as it comes back, we all believe it will be one of the safest forms of travel because we're looking after our guests so well. Maybe we can chat about that a bit later on. So really it's about having choice. And once you've got a cruiser, a lot of them do become addicted. And therefore it's very easy to get them either to sail again on the same brand or to sail on different brands. There's so many choice. And all of us with our teams offer the most incredible support to our travel agent partners. So whatever you need, whether it's Zooms, whether it's training, whether it's face-to-face training now, whether it's marketing materials, we all work very well together, and we have the backing of Clear as well. So all the tools you'd want to get into cruise are there, and the confidence is definitely coming back. So it's like a fresh start really, which is quite exciting. So it's quite a good time to get into it. And whether it's Shane or Emma's products or our own products, there are so many out there. And as long as you put the right guest on the right ship, they're going to come back and absolutely love you for sending you on a cruise. So in some ways, it's a good time to get into cruise now because we're all coming back and all offering so much support to travel agents, especially those who want to come and join us for the first time.
Thank you. And Emma, in your experience, what is it that perhaps does put some agents off getting into cruise in the first place? Why might there be some agents who perhaps haven't made that leap yet, and how can you help with that?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's been seen as a specialized product, and particularly if an agent may have not cruised themselves, and you think, oh, it's too complicated. There's so many elements to sort of flights and then the cruise itself. People often have a lot of questions about what's the experience going to be like on board, what's included, etc. But I think like Peter said, a lot of the agents have made that so easy now. All the training that we provide, all the support that we provide, and the marketing messages and the USPs that everyone tries to differentiate. A lot of cruise lines have so much included. And I think it's just trying to make that seamless and make it easy for guests to understand. I think as well, cruise is such an exciting product. So there's always new advancements. I was talking about a new ship that we're launching. Shane was saying the same. Peter's saying, there's new things all the time, whether it's new itineraries, new destinations. So it's such an exciting product. I don't think it's one that agents should be scared of selling, because again, that repeat customer, once you've sold cruise and you've got someone hooked onto that, then they are likely to come back.
We want loyal customers. Shane, Emma and Peter were talking there about the sort of support that's on offer to help agents tap into the cruise market. Can you say some more about that, whether that's industry level or specifically Virgin Voyages support, how you help with marketing and training?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know Peter mentioned Clear. So we recently had the Clear Selling Cruise Conference, which traditionally is normally 2 or 3 days. This year, obviously, for obvious reasons, it was cut down to the day. But that is where all the cruise lines come together and give you an opportunity to speak to our teams face to face. You get to learn about the trends of the industry and some deep insight. And I know there's the Clear Forum coming up just later this month as well, next week, in fact. So Clear is a great way for you to be able to kind of tap into the knowledge of what is happening within the cruise industry and really get a general helicopter view. And then you can then decide kind of what kind of brand would suit your customers. And as Emma and Peter said, they come from kind of the ultra luxury sector. So if you've got your customers that really want that ultra luxury premium experience, then absolutely there's incredible brands for that. You might have customers that want some inclusions, but want a more mid-sized ship where Virgin Voyages come in. And then you've got customers who may be a bit more price conscious and they really don't mind paying as they go. And there's absolutely other brands for that as well. So there really is. I know Kate said it on the chat earlier. I saw a lady called Kate mention that there is a cruise line for everybody. So I think that's the key thing, is there's lots of things available. When it comes to resources, we've all got incredible teams. So at Virgin Voyages specifically, we recently doubled the size of our team to put more resource on the road for our trade partners to be able to get in contact with us. All the cruise lines have incredible training platforms. We all invest millions and millions of pounds into the trade every single year, and I'm sure Peter and Emma are the same. That hasn't changed from the pandemic. If anything, it's the resource and investment has increased because we know that our first mates, our travel agent partners, will be more important than ever before. Because as customers look to come back to traveling, they're going to be coming back to you guys for that expert knowledge. So you can help them decide, help them find their way through the challenges of what tests are required and so on. Use your knowledge and be able to take your direction to find the right ship for them. And ultimately, the best thing to do is to speak to the cruise lines, reach out to us so we can help you understand what the right product is. Now, for us, none of us would want to put the wrong passenger on any of our ships. So we will all ultimately help you decide whether our products are right for your customers so you can confidently promote them. And if at any point you've got any questions, you can call us. We're right on the other end of the phone for you because we'd rather answer those questions and help you get going. Once you've made your first booking with a brand, you do generally go on to do a second, a third, and so on. So the first one is always the hardest, but we're here to handhold you through it. And we know just how important you guys are to our success. So we will be there every step of the way for you.
Thank you. Peter, can you tell us a bit more about how Silversea works closely with its agent partners?
We have a really wonderful team on the road. So we have 5 regional sales managers right around the UK and Ireland who are very approachable. And we also have what we call our inside sales team who can be contactable by phone or email in our office in London. So for our size of business, we have a very good, strong team. And they're always very happy to respond to anybody to get them up and running, what we call onboarding, if you like. And once we've got them onboarded, we then start to provide them with the materials that Shane was mentioning, whether it's our Marketing Central, which can help them create flyers and emails and direct marketing pieces, or our own little training. And we have all the product training that any of our travel agents would need. And when you put that together with the more generic, clear training, it's terrific. So don't be shy, I think, is my message. If you're worried about, can I get into that part of the market? Is Silversea a bit posh maybe for some of our customers? How can I get some of those really high value customers? Just give us a call. Either give us a call, send us an email at silversea.com on the agent side, or into our Facebook page as well. We'll get in touch and we'll help you through it. The answer is always we will do our absolute very best. We are really keen to bring more agents into our business. And we sort of have to because we're more than doubling our business over the next 2 years. So it's a great time to come and look at supporting Silversea. And it's a people business, as Shane knows well, and Emma. We have some great people out there on the road and in the office, and we'd love to hear from agents and help them along the way.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, it really sounds like it's about working together in that case, which is good to hear. Emma, any more specifics from you in terms of how Scenic can support agents, not just with training, but maybe once they're building up their sales, other things you can do to help them with client events even and things like that?
Yeah. Absolutely. From marketing collateral, we can supply as much content as you may need, from videos, images. We can help look at can we joint fund a marketing campaign, whether that's, you know, an email to your particular customer base, or you want to do some direct mail pieces, social media posts. Our marketing team, who are our trade, we've got a dedicated trade marketing team in-house who can support agents, you know, depending on what all types of campaigns you want to do. Events, definitely. Our sales team love going to on-road events and helping support agents doing events. I think that they love that. Like Peter was saying, it's a people business. They love getting out there. So, you know, whether you need collateral, you need our sales managers to help deliver training. We've got lots of products, lots of goodies as well that we can share. So yeah, I think that's really key. You know, if people need anything, any support from selling, understanding cruise, I think all of the trade teams that everyone's business has, they're really, really good, really strong.
Robert, hello.
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hi, Robert. I was so pleased you've managed to join us. Sorry you had some technical hitches there, but you've not missed too much, so do not worry. Let's come straight to you, Robert, so that you can introduce P&O to our guests, because they haven't had a chance to hear from you yet. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your brand and its position within the market.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. Just the joys of technology. You should know that by now. So yeah, P&O Cruises, we have 6 ships. 4 of those ships are family friendly. We operate over 70 destinations. We obviously home ported in Southampton, but we have 5. We have fly product as well. We've got an incredible range of choice across the ships. And so, you know, destinations, over 70 destinations around the world, holidays from 2 to up to 3 months. Incredible value for money from a family perspective. Full board, obviously, free children's clubs, entertainment, food, etc. So look, you know, we are well positioned in the UK market for British guests. Our products tailored to suit British tastes, and I think, you know, we offer incredible choice out of the UK. That was a very quick catch up for the last 20 minutes of being late. Apologies.
You're here now, which is the important thing. I'll stay with you, Robert, actually, for my next question, which is about what's going to be new in 2022. We've heard from our panelists that the cruise sector is one that's particularly dynamic. There's always new products coming out. What can you tell us about 2022 for P&O in terms of any new itineraries or products or anything you're focusing on?
Yeah, obviously, it's hugely exciting to start return to service. In 2022, we have Iona's maiden Norway season. So Iona is our newest ship. She launched this year. She has her first season in Norway, and she was essentially designed for Norway and that type of itinerary with her outside-inside spaces. And later in the year, we've got Arvia launching, which is the sister ship for Iona. And Arvia is a similar XL class ship, but Arvia is designed around the sun, so she has an opening sky dome. And from a family perspective, she has a lot more features on board. She has a high altitude, which is a ropes course. On the outside deck, she has a first swim up bar for our brand, which I get way more excited than I should do. She has a virtual reality experience on board for families to take part in. So there's a lot more opportunities on that ship to enjoy the sun. So between Iona with her Norwegian fjords and Arvia, we've got a great in 2022 in terms of new capacity for agents, but also new holiday choice for our guests. And I think kind of Arvia, what we've seen with, Iona this year, we also launched the Gary Barlow partnership on Iona, and we also have a Cirque product on board Iona in her sky dome. So these new ships are really giving us a chance to kind of push the product and push guests' enjoyment on board, and with a much more informal and relaxed kind of holiday experience for guests. So I think on Iona there's over kind of 30 different bars and dining restaurants to choose from. So the product's definitely designed so with a week's holiday you may not get to experience everything, and that's okay. What we wanted to do. These ships are designed to be always on, so even when we're in port or a destination, there's things happening on board the ship, and there's activities for everyone to take part. So we're continually looking at new partnerships, and whether it's Falcon Gin on Iona, which is, I guess, more for children, or Ardman, so partners with Wallace and Gromit from an entertainment perspective. There's continual kind of new news flowing through the fleet as we launch into 22, but Yeah, we've got an exciting year, and I think, with this capacity coming to the UK market, it's an exciting year for agents as well.
Not condoning giving gin to children, are we? Just
No.
Peter, what can you tell us about Silversea's news for 2022 and beyond?
Friends on the call will be getting a sense now of all the different exciting things we've all got happening. For us, we've got the launch of our latest ship, Silver Dawn, which will be a sister ship to Silver Moon, which is now sailing very successfully. So Silver Dawn is a beautiful ship with 600 guests, and she'll be based in the Mediterranean. She'll have over 10 restaurants on board, which is amazing for a ship with only 600 guests. Her new thing is our Otium spa experience, where we've taken the starchiness out of going to the spa, and we've gone back to Roman times as to you can also indulge yourself and enjoy yourself in the spa. So if you would like a glass of champagne while you're in the spa, that's absolutely fine with us on Silver Dawn. And then right throughout the ship, we're reinvigorated the whole approach to wellness, because as you know, wellness and healthy living is becoming more and more important. And she'll be in the Med, and that's one tip for our travel agent friends, that we're seeing unbelievably strong demand for the Mediterranean next summer. It's the closer to home thing that's happening, because people are understandably still a bit nervous about committing to traveling. But the Mediterranean, we all know where it is. It's close to home. Our sales for the Mediterranean next summer are more than double what they were back in 2019. And we'll have the Dawn and the Moon both sailing itineraries in the Eastern and Western Med. So again, for agents who are looking to get into cruise for the first time, obviously the Southampton that P&O are so good at is very helpful for that. Otherwise, closer to home Mediterranean is really useful, because everybody in the travel agency world is used to sailing the Mediterranean, and therefore just upgrading that experience to going on a beautiful cruise is probably the first and easiest step of getting into cruise, because you already all know the destination. And by the way, you have all the customers you need. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, start with a destination that's familiar, but just turn it into a cruise instead. Emma, what's coming up for Scenic?
Yes, so in 2022, similarly, Scenic Eclipse will be sailing her inaugural Mediterranean season. So she's currently on her way to Antarctica, and she'll sail Antarctica from January. But then in April, she'll make her way to Lisbon and start her Mediterranean sailings, which is the first time she's sailed the Mediterranean. During the pandemic, some of the facilities on board have been improved for the warm water experience. We've got a new panorama bar on our deck 10. We've got some new outdoor dining venues. So I think in the Mediterranean, that will really come to life on Scenic Eclipse. Those might be features that won't get utilised as much in Antarctica, but in April, when she's in the Mediterranean for a few months, the itineraries that we've got there are really, really special. In addition to that, a little bit further on, I mentioned earlier that Scenic Eclipse has a second Discovery yacht launching. She'll be known as Scenic Eclipse 2. We're not going to differentiate between the two yachts, and she'll be launching in early 2023, which is really exciting. We'll have two vessels, very similar in size and in features, and they'll both then be sailing around the globe. They'll both be built to Polar class specifications, so they'll both be able to go to Antarctica and the Arctic, but similarly they'll both also be doing warm water itineraries. And we've got some really lovely new itineraries and new destinations launching in January as part of our 23-24 collection, so agents will be able to see more of a range of Scenic Eclipse itineraries, which is really exciting. It's our biggest release to date.
And cruisers might be looking as far ahead as 2024 already, mightn't they, Emma?
Absolutely, yeah. I think a lot of the cruise lines are looking that far out and planning that far out. I think some people may have got holidays booked for this year that have been rearranged from last year or the year before. We are seeing a lot of forward bookings into 23, 24.
Yeah, thank you. Shane, what does 2022 hold for Virgin Voyages?
Yeah, so I briefly mentioned it earlier. It is going to be the year of Virgin Voyages, without a doubt. So we've got the second and third ship joining us. So Valiant Lady will actually be swinging by the UK. We're in our final stages of our plans, but I can exclusively reveal there will be lots of opportunities for our first mates to come and join us, our travel agent partners, and we will be inviting those that have completed our training first. So if you haven't completed the online training, then get that completed to gold tier for your pass to come and join us. So we will be showing off Scarlet Lady in the UK before she does a maiden season. So her mermaiden voyage, which is what we call our first voyages, her mermaiden voyage will take place from Portsmouth. So we will sail from Portsmouth on 3-night itineraries through to 11-night itineraries. And then also we will then have Valiant Lady repositioning down to Barcelona for the summer months. So through May through to October, she'll be sailing out of Barcelona. All of those itineraries include an overnight in Ibiza. And then if that wasn't enough, give me slightly nervous palpitations. Resilient Lady will then join us in August, and she'll be sailing in the Greek Isles. So yeah, 2 ships, a lot to show off, a lot to do. And here we go. Foot down, pedal to the metal.
Shane, we do have a question, Shane, for one of our agent guests. She says that she's heard Virgin Cruises are not for the prudish. Is there anything that is put in the client's room that they should be aware of, or is this just a rumor?
Well, Keely, well, obviously, you know, Virgin, we get away with being a little bit cheekier, right? So Virgin has a personality, and we are the cruise line definitely that we're able to dial up that personality. And, you know, we're adult by design. So the fact that we're an adult product, it allows us to do things that you perhaps wouldn't find on a family-friendly ship. We're by no means hedonistic in that sense. But in the cabin, as part of the minibar, there are some opportunities for our passengers to be able to reconnect. And there are also some hammocks on the balconies. We've got an oversized catamaran net. So yes, there may be things in the cabin that help our sailors to reconnect with each other. And if I don't think it's true what they say about the UK being prudish. So those reconnection the reconnection kits we sold 60% of them on the UK voyages. So the UK might not be quite as prudish as we think.
Awesome. We're running out of time a little bit now. I know we've got another specific question for Shane there about Virgin Voyages app. I imagine that's something you're working on at the moment.
Yeah, so obviously
being done on the app?
Yeah, obviously we're new. So we just launched our app, and obviously when it comes to the app, you can't test all of that with 2,000 guests on board, because we haven't had the opportunity to do that. So every single week the app receives an update, and it becomes stable further and further, and it improves. So anybody that sails with us on Valiant Lady next year will see a massive improvement when it comes forward to technology. Of course, it needs those testing and trial and error. Things that we think are really simple, when you put it in front of 2,000 people, it suddenly becomes very different, right? So we're of course evolving that, and we're committed to doing so. There is a stand-up meeting, as we call it, every single day, where we discuss the app and discuss what's coming next in it. So it's all about stabilizing the app right now, but then there's some new features that will be added ready for Valiant Lady when she joins us in the UK as well. So more to come.
Lovely, thank you. And just in our final few minutes, be good to think about if customers are concerned about COVID and what that means for their cruise. What should agents be telling those customers? Could I come to you on that one, Robert? Oh, could you?
I can jump in if Robert's gone away.
I think Robert's back.
Big fingers and a small phone. Absolutely. So I mean, look, all through the 20 months, ourselves and quite a few of the cruise lines have been working with the DFT, the Chamber of Shipping, around kind of building the protocols on board to ensure guests can still enjoy their holiday. One of the most important things we're seeing is just reassuring guests they can still have a fantastic holiday, and that the protocols are things we're doing to protect our guests and are there to ensure they have a great holiday. So we're focused on making sure guests can have flexible transfers. 100% of our guests are tested before boarding. So we've got, and all of our guests actually have to be double vaccinated at the moment, and we'll continue to do that. And also all of our ships are sailing reduced occupancy to make sure we have plenty of kind of social distancing on board if required. But the most important thing for us is that guests still feel they can enjoy their holidays. And certainly we saw through late summer and summer, when guests were coming back on board, new to cruise, they were enjoying their holidays, and that feedback's been fantastic for our crew and for us and everyone that's involved in organising those. So things like NPS surveys tell us guests are enjoying it, but repeat bookings tell us even more. So we'll continue to work with the government organisations to make sure guests and still enjoying their cruise. I think that's the most important thing for us.
Thank you. Peter, anything to add there?
Well, I've just come back from Silver Moon in the Caribbean and took a lot of travelling to get there and back. And I have to say, talking to our guests, the place they felt most comfortable and most safe was on the ship. We all work so hard to have that controlled environment. Everyone is tested, double vaccinated. Everyone wears their mask when they're walking around the ship and not when they're sitting down around the pool. So having just come back and travelled a lot in the last week, where I felt safest was on the ship. And I think we would all say that. And Clear have done a magnificent job, as Robert said, to work all together. We're very cautious, we're being very careful, and we still will be. But cruising has come back stronger than ever. So therefore, for our agent friends looking to sell more cruise, now's a great time to start. It really is.
Lovely, thank you. And final thoughts from you, Emma, on the opportunity for agents to be selling more cruise?
Yeah, absolutely. A huge opportunity. I think, there's reasons you can explore so many destinations. I think the training is key, and knowing the cruise lines is key. So having the different options for your guests, knowing the difference between the different brands and what's going to suit them. But yeah, lots of options. We've said it a few times, there's a cruise line for everyone. And I think, get in touch with your local sales managers from cruise lines, do the training. I know there's lots of training as part of this event this afternoon as well. And just start to understand the opportunity available and the breadth of opportunities and the excitement of the new products in cruising as well.
Lovely. That's a great point to finish on. Thank you very much, Emma, Robert, Peter, and Shane. We now need to hop on over to the next session, which is already live, I believe. So thanks again, panelists and agents. If you can click into session 2, I'll see you over there for our 10:15 session. Thank you.
Cheerio.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.